Old system, new client, it's time for an upgrade. We're removing all of these old components from this rack. We're doing a video and networking upgrade. And today, we're gonna tell you about all the details. All right, now let me give you the details of what was here and what we're doing. 2 surround sounds, one for the family room, one for the game room. Got our network switch. Control 4, in this home we actually had some video distribution. This Zoom matrix, one of the biggest updates or upgrades that we're doing here is the video distribution, and I'll get to that here in a second. And then we have a bunch of zones of audio. This right here is something that I want to spend a little time and talk about, and it's video distribution. It's the concept of having multiple sources being able to be sent out to multiple displays and being able to control or copy where they go. In essence, having a cable box, an Apple TV, DVD player, and whatever your other source is. Let's call it a Roku. And then you have 4 TVs, your master, your family, your game room, and your patio, and you're able to mix and match those displays within those zones. However, the things that you have to consider is resolution and distance. That's why we're gonna take this out and put a new one in. Technology had changed. They were having some handshake issues with video and display not being able to really work together. So we brought a Wirestorm system, pulled this out, and gave them some new TVs. Let's talk about the networking. Networking, let's really discuss it. Number 1, the router is getting an update. Why? Because this right here is what controls the entire network. This is what controls the traffic. This is what assigns IP addresses, and this is what connects you to the world. So we definitely had to do an Arachnus upgraded router. From there, access points. These is what actually transmit the wireless signal between the rack and the rest of the home. There's a cat cable running from each location to here, connected to a PoE, a power over Ethernet switch that is going to power them, but also transmit data back and forth. We did 2 different access points here, an indoor and outdoor rated access point, because we do a lot of entertaining in the beautiful backyard that they have. Things to keep in mind is that we also did Wi-Fi 6, faster speeds, broader distance, and also better antennas on the access points. Brian went into the details of what this is and what it does, but I just wanted to confirm that you understand that this was upgraded to make sure that they have a dual WAN router, so in case they ever need to switch back and forth. We got some more work to do. However, let's get a little deeper into video distribution so I can show you some products and you truly understand what we're actually doing here.
What's up, guys? Brian here with Empire AV. Today we have a full network swap out. We're doing a 2.5 gig upgrade, new router, new switch, new access points. We're also doing a video distribution upgrade. We're using Wirestorm. I have some of the equipment here. So just to kind of give you an idea, we have an Arachnus 220, which is a full 2.5 in, full 2.5 out. We have a 420 24 port switch. This switch right here is actually pretty nifty. It has a partial 2.5, so it doesn't necessarily break the bank, but you get 8 2.5 in, or 8 2.5 out. It has 4 SFP ports, and then the rest of the ports are 1 gig for things that quite haven't caught up to speed yet, right? We have the Wirestorm MXV 0404H2A kit. This is an HD-based-T matrix, so we have HDMI in and HD-based-T out. We also have audio outs here as well, so we don't have to do any extracting or anything like that. The fact that we're going straight HD-based-T out as well is a positive, because we don't have that many point of failures, right? Usually a traditional Balun might have a transmitter and a receiver. In this case, we're just dealing with transmitters and HDMI ins. All of this stuff is going on a pre-existing Control 4 system. Originally, this wasn't our system, but we do takeovers, and we do also advance those takeovers. So here we are today, taking this setup to another level.
The old TV has been taken down. The new access point has been installed. We're getting our cables ready to mount the TV, and the TV is coming out of the box. Things that I want to highlight here. This is the outdoor access point that I spoke about earlier. Beautiful backyard. Obviously, we have a TV, we have speakers. nice pool. We need Wi-Fi out here, so we have an outdoor rated access point. Number two, there's an extra Ethernet cable, internet cable right here. This is actually what's going to come from the matrix upstairs into our receiver that has an HDMI out that's going to go to the TV. Earlier, I talked about IRs and all of that stuff. However, we don't need that here because that TV connects to the internet and we can control it via IP because we have a Control4 system here. A lot of technology on this, but more importantly than anything is the reliability. As you can see, there's a bigger one and a smaller one because of the speed, because of the distance that I want to highlight right here. This actually tells me that it can go 444 for 100, 4K 444 60 hertz for 115 feet. To our video guys, you know exactly what I mean. The longer the distance, the longer, the better product that you need to make sure that you can pass the resolution that you need. Guys are putting the mount on the back of the TV, but let's discuss the TV because that is actually the best TV that you can actually put on this setup. As you can see, not all outdoor TVs are created equal. This is actually a seal lock. I have no idea where this came from. We didn't do the original installation, but this is what an outdoor TV or it's an outdoor TV or an outdoor display. It probably did sustain the heat and it was out here for a while, but some of the things that I want to point out is the protection to the components. It is just a fabric velcroed over your cables. As you can see, things starting to rotten out and we have a bunch of corrosion and stuff because this is out next to a pool and there's also heat and moisture here. We're installing a Samsung Terrace. One, I can tell you that the weight, my bad Marcus, I can tell you that the weight comparison between that and this, that was probably 50 pounds. This is, I don't know, 150 pounds. So the components and everything is a lot heavier, but also take a look at the amount of inputs and outputs that are here. We have USB HD base T. We have triggers, HDMI in, HDMI out, 3 different HDMIs. I think that one only had 1. I want you to notice that the power cable is protected, and then we have our Ethernet and antenna. Everything closes and seals tight. That way no water or moisture gets into the actual components. It also has a small spacing for us to put our converters and our baluns in here and manage our cables. So big difference on how the TV is built, also on the resolution and the brightness of the TVs. We're about to get this TV up. I don't want to disturb the guys from doing their work, so let's get the TV up. Not all cables are created equal. We're given a full upgrade to every single aspect of the video distribution in the house. The display, the TVs, the baluns, the converters, the actual processor, the matrix, but also the cables. This is a topic that I don't want to go too deep into detail, but I'm going to go a little bit into the details of it while we open this Pearl 48 8K HDMI cable. Now, what does an HDMI cable actually do? It transfers data, video, audio, and also control, right? As technology has evolved, this cable is able to do more. Old cables, you just needed to connect them. It was most likely 1080p. The actual bandwidth that was going to this was probably 10.8. So majority of cables worked for almost all the setups. But guess what? Technology evolved. Now you have Dolby Atmos, you have eARC, you have all of these different specs, and now you need a better cable. So let's go a little bit into the details. Number one, let's talk about bandwidth. Old HDMI cables will transfer 10.8. The new, or at least these, actually transfer 48 gigabits per second. That means that more data can actually go through here at faster speeds. It isn't going to give you a better image. It isn't going to give you brighter colors, but it is going to give you exactly what the TV is supposed to display without any flickering, without any noise. Not only that, but insulation. Whenever you get to setups like these, you have a lot of cables in a rack. this cable is going to go next to a power cable or Ethernet cable, or maybe a bunch of HDMI cables. So shielding is extremely important. This is actually insulated, and it actually down here, it'll show you the noise dissipation, which is actually how noisy the signal flow is going to be. We can go deep into the details of what these cables do, but for the most part, HDMI is not going to get your picture better. It's either going to make it work or not. You connect a bad cable with the wrong components, you'll get flickering, you'll get noise, you'll get in and out connection. So make sure that you don't cheap out on these cables. Now, do keep in mind that you do not need the most expensive cable to make it reliable, but you do need the correct cable for your own setup and equipment and installation. Sony in, Vizio out. We upgraded the master bedroom TV for a way better display. The biggest thing about Sony is that it's going to give you the most natural colors out of all the displays out there. If you didn't know this, majority of the movies that you actually watch are mastered on a Sony display. Look it up. But let's talk about the TV. We gave it a big upgrade with this OLED. This is a 75-inch TV in the primary bedroom. Best thing about this is that we have a new video distribution system behind it. So now we can actually take advantage of the brightness and the colors that this TV has the capability of. Wanted to bring you into the master. It's not connected to the internet yet because the rack is still being worked on, but the TV's up. We're about to take this one out of here because it's installed. Why do you need a control system? These are just a few of the remotes needed to control this rack. And if you don't have a control system like Control 4 that puts all of these either on a handheld device or app, you're gonna find yourself becoming an audio video expert in trying to use your audio system. We have a matrix that has just been completely installed. Might have said that incorrectly, but we have a matrix that was just installed. Brian is back there removing a bunch of old stuff that didn't need to go in the rack. But I wanted to point out the amount of remotes that are being actually pulled out of this rack for old devices. Without this, none of this truly would be possible, because who wants to walk around with these amount of remotes? We are almost done with the equipment pullout and the new equipment that's being installed. And then we'll get to program a few things and demo them before we wrap this video up. All right, our terrace is installed, our matrix is plugged in, and our baluns are functioning. As you can see, we're currently showing the same exact image on both TVs. The reason I wanted to bring you here is so I can actually truly show you how video distribution works and give you an example. Right now, I got two displays showing the same exact thing. Yes, you can get you two Apple TVs, and yes, you can get you two cable boxes, but guess what? They're never going to be in sync. Perfect scenario, the Super Bowl can be happening and someone can win it here before they win it in here, and that will ruin the whole experience. That's just one of the reasons why we do video distribution, and this was the best way of showing it to you. I hope that you learned something about video distribution or networking today. This was a great system update, an amazing video for our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, right now would be a perfect time to do so. Go watch yourself another video and have a great day.